Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in the old YouTube lands. That's where we're at, right? Oh, it's a fun time. So we're just we're editing. That's what we're doing. We're gonna have a fun time editing. We're gonna do it all from my phone, and we were doing this before, but we've got away from it. But I kind of want to bring you guys into the process of what it is that we do here on the channel. Especially for editing, because I think that for a lot of people, YouTube is a great outlet, whether it's for a hobby or if you're making money, whatever happens to be, and we can learn together. So it kind of really helps us out if we share what we know. And so right now, what I'm doing is I'm actually editing, not this one, the live, and I just want to make sure that everything is good to go. I don't actually have a playlist set up for that. That's good there. No, it's not paid content, so that's fine. And then go ahead and save that page. Then we want to go down to here and make sure that we're monetized because we make money. That's let YouTube insert. Yeah, aggressive. Yeah, we want to make money, right? I don't. I don't know how a lot of that stuff works yet. I'm still kind of like learning all the new stuff, but it's fun time. So what I wanted to do is I can't necessarily see what's happening. Where are we at here? Let's see here. This one. YouTube. View your channel. And then there we go. I should be live. So what I wanted to do is I can't necessarily see. So we're going to mute, and I just want to be able to see that everything is working properly, sound is good, and the chat is open. That's really where we want to be for that, because I want to see the chat, and that way I can respond pretty well. And it also kind of works out because I can stare right at the camera and see it, whereas I'll be looking at my phone, but normally if I'm doing a live, the comments are on the phone, so I have to look down at the phone, but I can actually see the comments right here. So here's what we do. I'll give you a basic rundown. We use YouTube Create. Yeah. So YouTube Create, YT Create is an app for YouTube that allows you to edit your videos and to upload directly from the app. Now, what's nice about it is that once I get done saving it in the app to upload, it's saved to my phone so that I can quickly jump over and edit it from or upload it to other platforms with very little effort. So I really love that because I want to upload to other spaces, and that really makes it a lot easier for me to do that. So first thing we got to do is we're going to go over to my Studio app, which I have on my phone. We'll go to Content. Now, you may have seen, well, you probably didn't see because I'm not sharing my screen, but I have a draft waiting for me to edit. So here's what I've started doing. I have my VR camera, my digital video camcorder, whatever you want to call it, is set back up. And that's what I've been using because this thing has stopped working. You may have noticed on one of the recent videos that it kept getting lines in it because of the lighting and stuff. So I'm moving away from that one, and I've gone back to my DVR or DVC. It's working pretty good. So I can do video and record camera-wise from that onto the laptop, which is good. But I like to do a lot of stuff with my phone because it's got a pretty decent camera. So here's what I've got set up on my phone for the studio. Now, everything is right here that I need, so I'm going to start from the top down, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to change now sometimes I'll use the recommended thumbnail, but for card reviews, I don't really want to be in the shot. I don't need to be there for that, so I will click on this. Now, what this gives me is I've selected the cards that I have, the picture I took for the cards. Now, I goes and open up that card or the picture for the cards that I took, edit the picture itself, and from here I can kind of crop it or do whatever I need to do. In this case, I need to change the orientation so that it's landscape instead of portrait. I'll go ahead and save that, make sure everything looks pretty good. Make sure that I've got a pretty decent space here that I can do that on. So I try to keep everything on the blue, and that's my frame. Now it does look like we're losing some latency, but dropped frames. That can happen from time to time. Hopefully it kicks back in, because we are not connected through the Ethernet, which I probably could, because it's right over there. So if I just did a splice, I could probably run, which I might have to do, just hardline the internet since I'm right at the source. Or no, that won't work. Bollocks. That won't work, because what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the in cable, which goes upstairs to the modem and router. Just so you're getting a little extra education here. But then I'd have to run an Ethernet or an R11, I believe it's called, back into the basement. So that would be a little bit more work. Just from my own knowledge, because I always like to learn, I believe it's the R11. It's been a while. Let's see, RJ11 might be what it is. Either way, it's the Ethernet RJ11 high-speed modem cable. Some houses that I've looked at actually have them run into the rooms separately. So what they would do is they would have the central hub, especially if it's like a tech guy or something like that. I've been in a couple houses. You go into the room and then you have your modem set up, and then they have just streamers throughout the entire house. Every room has the RJ11 outlet along with the phone outlet so that you can get internet directly. Now, excuse me. Nowadays, not as much stuff. Even some of the newer laptops and computers don't come with an Ethernet port because it's all Bluetooth. But so that kind of makes some of those things obsolete. Okay, let's take a look-see here. It looks like, I think we're back up and running. Yeah, it looks like we're good. Yeah, now I'm pointing over at the, whatchamacallit. So it's like the video. I'm pointing over at the cable stuff. So we're kind of pretty far behind here. But that's okay. Let's make sure we spell it right. Howdy, howdy. Jesse Champlin. That's my name. Where are we at? Okay. So back to the change. So now that we've changed the orientation of that picture, we're going to modify it. And it looks like we did kind of take it a little bit too, like it's too, it doesn't fit within the frame the way that I want it to, because there's too much space over on the left. So we're going to redo the picture. And that's what we, because we want to make sure we have the best. And we're going to tighten everything up, because these edges are fine, but we just want to make sure that we have a nice tight framed picture for the purposes of this thumbnail. So see how I just kind of tightened it up a little bit? That way when I take the picture, and I make sure I get the orientation right, take a couple pictures, and sometimes I'll be editing this on the go, and I'll realize that my thumbnails aren't right. So then I'm like, well, what do I do now? Because I don't have this stuff with me. So now I feel like it's a little bit too tight. And so I can actually move these out like this to fill up some of that dead space. Now, also what I feel like is that the spread is actually too diagonal. So what I'd like to do is come more like across like this and put this. I kind of wanted that like off in the left side like this. I kind of like having the deck box jarring to the regular frame of the picture so that it draws attention in like this really aesthetic way, I think. So now what happens is I even up my frame, take a couple of shots, come back to my studio, and then what ends up happening is the stream it's out of frame, but it gives you an orientation Now, see, here's what's weird is because of the way I have it set up is the lighting is jarring on this side. This doesn't really fit out too well, so I kind of want to bring it more towards the center. And I want to shore this up a little bit so we're not catching as much of that light over here. And I want this to kind of go up a little bit. And it's okay if it's not straight anymore. So I want that towards the center now, because now what I feel like happened is now this side has too much stuff happening. Move my hand out of the way. Up a little bit higher. Okay. Okay, now the last one that I took for some reason is sideways again. So I feel like now what I need to do is I have this side pretty decent. I want to kind of shore up this side to bring everything in frame. So I think we're pretty close to where I kind of want to be. Keeping everything nice and tight for the shot. Oh, excuse me. See, now it's too far to the left, so let's see if I can do... Because now we got some dead space over here. So now what I want to do is go back to the camera. And some people spend like a whole day on their thumbnail. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go wider frame for the first shot. Then we want to go this way. Then we want to bring the orientation this way and then back towards the center. And let's see if that'll work. Because we can always zoom in. We can't really zoom out though. And really the main concern for that last one is that it would... Ooh, I like that. Kind of. Almost. Okay, I think that's... Now we kind of seem like we've got some dead space on the sides, so let's see if we had a tighter frame here that we can do. That one, if we zoom in... That one's upside down. That one, ooh, actually, I think upside down works for this. Yeah, we're going to do upside down. Sometimes things just kind of work out for you. And that's what we're going to do. Beautiful. Now, the other problem that I have is I'm doing all this, and I have 13% left on my phone, and my charger is upstairs. So now the next thing down, we just work from the top down. Thumbnail is good. Once you got a good thumbnail, which in this case, really what you want. Hey, Marzina, welcome. Once you start from the top down, once you got your thumbnail, then you want to move to the next part of that, which is the title. And in this case, very meat and potatoes, very simple. No fluff, no nothing. We're just going to do, let's see here. Normally on the bottom of the box, it'll say the year. In this case, it's 2023. So you start with that, 2023, which I didn't do for my recent videos, which was, we'll see how it goes. 2023 Nightmare. We've been doing this really aesthetic thing where we'll have certain words that are capitalized and some words that are all caps. So in this case, we're going to do Nightmare, all caps. Then we're going to go to Nightmare before is going to be not caps. Then we're going to do Christmas. Nightmare, the Nightmare Before Christmas. Then we're going to go back before here. Bring it down. The Nightmare Before Christmas. And then we want to... Let's see if we put bicycle in the front there so that we know where it's from. Bicycles. Oh, let's see here. 2023... The Nightmare Before Christmas, bicycle, playing card, deck, review, video. Beautiful. Next, you got a beard, looks like you need to shave. No. We don't need to shave. We got to keep it going. We're heading into the cold season. We got to bring it to life. I actually got to bring, obviously, through the course of this experience, we've been bringing new stuff from the old house. And one of the things that it hasn't made it over yet is my beard oil and my beard comb. So what I need to do is I need to get my product so that I can start getting it lightened up a little bit. And what I do like to do is I like to keep it trimmed in a little bit to keep it nice and tight. But I do want to, I'm going to start growing it out a little bit more. But we'll see where things go from there. But shaving, no. Anyway, in the description, you have a great opportunity to put in some keywords. So what I like to do is the first thing I do is basically to say, today we reviewed The Nightmare Before Christmas playing cards from Bicycle. Now, what that does is, once it reaffirms what it is for the keywords. Today we reviewed The Nightmare Before Christmas playing cards from Bicycle. Very good. I could even go in there and say 2023. That way the year's in there, and then I can say from the mind of Tim Burton. And that gets the Burton in there, especially with Beetlejuice and all that other stuff. You want to grab that. You can say Halloween is almost upon us. So we got Halloween in there. Costumes. Candies and creatures. Because we've been doing the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe thing lately. So costumes, candies, and creatures. Oh my. So that grabs that. So you just kind of want to use some things there. It's spooky and it's scary. And then let's see here. Where's some good Spidey hypnosis? Let's see. Go with David Blaine because that's a big name in like the creepy magic. Chris Angel is a good one. I think that's how you spell Chris Angel. I might have to look it up. And then you've got Spidey Hypnosis. And let's see, is there any other spooky? Hi, Marzina. How are you doing today? We're doing some fantastic stuff over here. So let's go ahead and take a quick look to see if that's how you spell Chris Angel. Looks like two S's. So now what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep relevant names, but we're trying to grab certain people for the purpose of getting some clicks in there. Let's see. Cards. Let's go with Carvers. The Carvers. Well, Noctobers. Those are the ones that we have. Oh yeah, let's list off some. We just said like Beetlejuice. Let's watch some spooky movies. Beetlejuice. I'm only going to say it twice, though. Let's see. What's some other Halloween movies? Yo Gabba Gabba. The little one likes to watch that. I'll put it on for him because it's on the free TV. So it's a lot of fun. Let's see. We did mention Nightmare on Elm Street. Let's see here. Oh, Halloween Town's a good one. Okay, and I think that's pretty good there. So just doing some keywords for the point of it's got to be relevant to what it is that you're doing, but you just want to throw in a handful of those, and you can do the hot keywords drop down, but you want to have them multiple places so it's grabbing from multiple places. So that's going to be our description. Then we're going to go to visibility. Now, what we've been doing is we set it as a premiere, and I like to schedule it. So we will schedule it for 5 o'clock today. There we go. And then that way it gives us a little bit more time to, forgot to set it as a premiere. That way I can watch it with you. And select the audience, not for kids. It's for adult people too. Let's see, magic, playing card reviews, tutorial, all the fun stuff. Done and done. So this one is the review. We're going to go ahead and save that. Okay. Now that's the first video. That's the how did you know The Nightmare Before Christmas? Well, I watched it when I was a little one, a wee lad in the old country, as I like to say. The old country being about 25 miles over yonder. That's just the saying that I use. Okay, so there's that. Beautiful little cards there. So that video is reviewed and up on the channel. Should be, as in a couple of minutes. Then we're going to go over to YouTube Create, and now this is when we're going to pop in the one that we just did. Now we have the problem with using the phone as my primary device is that I have like just content, and then I've got to delete it and all that. So we're going to come over here to my 22-minute video of me shooting my thing here. Let's go ahead and get a drink. I saw him coughing on there, and that reminded me that Okay. Nightmare Before Christmas is pretty fun. It's like a claymation style. It's just an interesting format. Card review. I got so much magic stuff that I need to like buckle down on. I've got some routines that I've got to buckle in on. I've got a lot of card stuff lately, but I need to get back into the other stuff. Like I'm carrying the coins, and I've got to keep up with that. I've got some card keys, and then I've got a card. Mystics. Been carrying the Mystics for the fun of it, just because I'm wearing the red pants, so I guess I got that going on. And then we've got the coins. And then I've got my wallet in my back pocket, which is for magic, and then I've got some other little magic stuff like my rings and things. Rings and things. Ooh, that's an interesting title. Maybe I can do a video with rings and things. Now, here's where the fun part comes in. I go through the video and I clip it at where my marker is. And in this case, I always pick a different marker depending on what I'm doing, but my marker is the beginning of my video. In this case, my marker, and most of the time, I'll do this. Owie. So I'll do the card spring, and then that'll be my marker, so I know where to cut it. And I only do the card spring at the beginning of the video or the end of the video. And so I have like a 20-minute video, and I know just to go right to the end to cut that. Now, I will need to put the sound on. So potentially what I will do is I will use my headset. Because currently I think I have it set up through my speaker. So I definitely don't want that because I don't get too much feedback. So I'll be able to hear it. but you guys won't until I actually upload it. So let's come over here and pop it into there. Nope. Okay, so here's where we're messing up. So I've got it connected to the computer. Beautiful. Now I got it on the phone. Now I can hear my video. So currently I've got it down to 1 minute and 37 seconds, which I need to get it down further. Let's see. What about Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Scream, Child's Play, and The Exorcist? Wowzers. Oh, and Pennywise. So you're talking Stephen King's It. You got a lot of great stuff there, and that would have been great to put in the description. We talked about Texas Chainsaw Massacre yesterday and Scream. So let's talk about Friday the 13th, which is Jason Voorhees. Actually, we briefly talked about that as well. And then Child's Play with Chucky. Excellent. Love the movies. Great time. Exorcist. There's been so many different versions of The Exorcist, and it's some of them are pretty good. And then Pennywise. Stephen King's It. Fantastic. Stephen King is great. Long movies, 2-parter, all the good stuff. I definitely love. Out of all of them, I would say that probably Stephen King's It is probably my favorite. Let's see here. Yeah. And then there's the new ones, but I have not seen the new ones. I've seen the original. Okay, let's see here. So we've got it down to 1 minute and 11. Minute and 8. Minute and 5. It's coming down pretty quick. Yes, the chair is old, and I've been wanting to update it for quite a while, and it is creaky. So I try not to move, but obviously I'm moving back and forth, and then it's not so great for the back, and I probably will be upgrading it before Christmas, most likely. So. Or maybe that's a good Christmas present for you guys. That's a good Christmas idea. I'll put it in my wish list. Maybe I'll start a Amazon card or something. I don't know. Oh, bless you, Jesse. Well, thank you. Okay, so we've got it down to 1 minute and 4. Minute and 3. Now, unless I want to cut off some of the ending, I'm probably not going to get the whole video. So here's what I do. So I speed up the video by 0.1%. So now it sounds like I'm talking really fast, which I already do. But that's pretty good. Okay, so then that's done. Now we go over to the sound, and we want something a little bit spooky. I think that's going to be a good one. Okay, so then we want to make sure that we turn the volume down on the music because we want people to still hear what we're saying. So you really want the music to be muted in the background so that you can it's undertone and it fills the space. Now, of course, if you're doing certain magic things, which I have done, where I'll have the music, I'll cancel out the sound on my video, and then I'll raise the sound on the video, or on the music, so that you can only hear the music. And sometimes you don't always get it right, which is weird. And the other thing that's been happening lately when I upload to TikTok, it adds a sound for some reason, which I have no idea why it does that. So then I have to delete the video, and then I have to go back and make sure there's no sound added from the TikTok end, and I just don't get it. Okay, so we want to do something here for the intro, transition-wise. We want it to kind of look like it's fading. Let's see, do we want black? Black's fine. And we'll finish with black. We're not going to go too crazy here with that. We're just going to keep it nice and simple. Then somewhere towards like the 5 marker, I always like to throw in the like, comment, and subscribe tag, just because I, gotta keep people in the loop here of subscribing. Okay, so there's that.